Dan Patrick Show brought to you by the 2018 Mercedes-AMG E-Class with a suite of innovative technologies. It's one of the most intelligent cars on the road. Go to MBUSA.com or visit your local dealership to schedule your test drive today. Let's bring in Jason Canfora, CBS Sports NFL insider. And good morning, Jason. How are you?
What's going on, buddy? Hope you're having a quality morning, man.
I am. And I saw where you had some information yesterday that you dropped on us, as the kids like to say, with the possibility of other teams entering in the Odell Beckham Jr. sweepstakes. First of all, the likelihood that the Giants would trade him is what?
Oh, I think it's north of 50%. I think it's far more likely than not at this point. I mean, a player of this magnitude, a player with, frankly, this ego, a player who's in a position who knows that in a 32-team league, there are numerous teams who would be comfortable paying him far more than Sammy Watkins got. I mean, Sammy Watkins got a legit 34 fully guaranteed over 2 years. So that $20 million a year on a short-term deal, it's out there for Odell. And if the Giants don't want to pay it because of the baggage and the video and the owner now ruminating publicly about his desire to have this guy on his roster, that's fine. But the money's there. So if it takes him pulling a Dwayne Brown and sitting out half a season and then coming back in time to get his accrued season or forcing the Giants' hand in the meantime on a trade, does Shermer and Gettleman really want to spend the first 8 weeks of the season being asked every single day about the best player on the team who's holding out? I don't think so. And the Giants know this. So they've got a decision. Just pay the man, which they don't seem inclined to do, or trade him before the draft when you can get present-day assets that will help your football team, because heaven knows they need help. So I do think he'll be dealt. But
you're looking at a couple of first-round draft picks. Is that the asking price?
I don't think they're going to get it. I don't. I don't. Because of what I just said, the teams will give you, full value for a player if there's a bargain or a potential bargain on the contract. But if I'm taking this problem child off your hands, and as good as he is and still only 25, you don't think he's worth market value, then I'm not going to give you full value for the player and do that.
Okay.
So I think it ends up being a 1 and a 3, maybe a 1 and a 2, maybe just a 1 and a player. I don't know that they'd get 2 first-round picks for him. I just don't, because of the various scenarios. Had this gone down at the Combine, Dan, before guys like Sammy Watkins got $34 million fully guaranteed, before the Jacksonville Jaguars decided that Dante Moncrief and Marquise Lee are worth $30 million guaranteed combined, before people started paying guards like elite left tackles, then I think it's a more robust market and teams hadn't burned through their budgets yet. So maybe it's more likely that you get a full value football trade for him. I just don't see it happening as we creep closer to the draft.
What do you make of the Gronk situation and sort of the, cryptic messages that he sends?
I don't. Look, I mean, if you're climbing in Gronk's head and you're climbing in Belichick's head and you're playing Ziggy Freud with either of those guys, Godspeed. I'm not really going down that rabbit hole. Rob Gronkowski has been a bargain since he came back from the last major back surgery. And, he had another knee injury since then, but then he bounced back from that and was once again the most dominant tight end in the game. So if you want Rob Gronkowski to keep playing football for you, you need to compensate him in line with his production. If you don't, then he can sit there and, he can chew the curd about the WWE or, doing B movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme or whatever awaits him out there on the other side of the rainbow. But I think the Patriots understand what the reality here is from a financial standpoint, and they've got some things to sort through with Belichick's long-term future or mid-term future. And, Tom Brady's a bargain too, and they've got some other holes to fill. But I'm not buying that there's this mind war going on between Belichick and Gronk. I think both guys understand what it's going to take for him to get back on the football field. And at some point through the course of a 6 to 7 month off season, those conversations will occur, and I think the Patriots will put more money in Gronkowski's pocket, and he'll play for another couple of years, and then we'll see.
We got Jim Mora. He's going to join us in about 15 minutes. Is he helping or hurting Josh Rosen with his comments?
Depends how you look at it. I'm I'm going to kind of take I don't know if it's a contrarian view, but maybe an outside-the-box view. I think he's kind of helping him because I think he knows this young man really well, and I think he wants what's best for this young man. And I don't know that Josh Rosen and Hugh Jackson would be a good coupling. I don't know that would go so well. And frankly, any quarterback that goes in Cleveland, as much as I value what John Dorsey's doing there, I think you have to worry about, am I going to purgatory? Like, even if we win 6 games next year, are they sticking with Hugh Jackson as the guy long-term to get them over the hump? And if they're not, is there going to be another offensive change and another new scheme and relearning things and, somebody else's playbook? And that's obviously not ideal. And Cleveland's been a place where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, that's just been the reality. And if you're Jim Moore, and I can't put words in his mouth, and I'm sure you'll get, you'll ask him, I guess, in 15 minutes about it. But my read on it is, boy, I don't know. Could I go with Shermer with a clean slate with the Giants? That sounds pretty good. And even the Jets, where they haven't had a good quarterback there in forever, and if this kid comes in and is even, stable and okay in year 2 and looks the part, then people are going to rally behind him. Or am I going to Cleveland, where I just saw what that staff just did with Kaiser? And I know Todd Haley's there now as a different offensive coordinator, but let's face it, Hugh's an offensive guy. And, even Kessler, I mean, it's been a minefield for young quarterbacks, and I think in his own way, maybe that's the point Coach Moore is making.
Where do we stand with Aaron Rodgers getting a new contract?
Oh, that's an inevitability. That's going to have to happen. It's just going to be a matter of at what price point. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you're not in a hurry. You've seen the Falcons sort of flinch and wince a little bit about the price tag for Matt Ryan. I mean, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you really don't worry about a contract until week 1 of the NFL season. Has Matt Ryan pushed? How far over 30 does he push? Or where does his number come down? Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in football, and he obviously still has time on his side in a way that some of these other guys like a Drew Brees and a Tom Brady just don't. So is it 32.5? Is it 33 a year? I don't know, but that's where this is heading, and there's really no way around it, and I think the Packers fully understand that.
Good to visit with you, Jason. Hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.
Sounds good, buddy. Have a good one.
That's Jason La Canfora. His Twitter handle is at Jason La Canfora, CBS Sports NFL Insider.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.